Alright, we are here with Tamiyo, Inquisitive Student. 1 minute 03, flying. Whenever it attacks, investigate. And if you draw your third card in a turn, whether it's yours or your opponent's, you flip this into the Planeswalker side. It starts at 2 loyalty, gets +2, is a -1 to attack on all attacking creatures towards you, which is it's kind of cool, I guess. The -3 picks up spells. And the -7 draws half your deck. So usually you win if you get to that point, and it's very strong that this costs 1 mana. It's like kind of insane. So Mox Amber has never been better. It's like I'm not gonna say it's the blue Ragavan, but 1 mana relevant, like actually can play it and not feel stupid. 1 mana commanders make Mox Amber just like insane, completely insane. So I'm not running any mana dorks. As you notice, this is very blue, like extremely blue actually. But I think that's fine. I just don't want to run mana dorks. I know there's like a 10 drop in here and omniscience and stuff, but I think I'm more interested in leaving up mana every single turn, just like Gretchen, just like Brawl, just like the other 3 mono blue commanders. You just sort of do that. Now, you don't have to go all in on that, but that's just kind of where I want to start. Obviously, by the end of it, usually the deck looks a little different. There's proliferate stuff in here, so I can quickly get to the -7 once it flips, right? Just seems kind of nice. Quickly get it in play, and then use things like Brainstorm, Brain Surge, the newer one. Cards like this that draw multiple cards in a single turn cycle, whether it's your turn or your opponent's, in conjunction with the clue tokens, so you can flip it pretty quickly. It seems pretty easy to do that. Url's in here, because Url is good. Counterspells, 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 and hopefully we just draw half our deck, take an extra turn of some kind, because we're drawing like half our deck, and then probably win from there. Most people might just concede once you draw half your deck. If this didn't say no max hand size, maybe not, but like you keep all of the cards you get, right? You could obviously still die, and this could maybe be a bit difficult to completely protect, given how I'm very creature light, such is the way I like to play Magic. So, I don't know. If we find ourselves struggling to keep this alive, then we could just put a lot more green cards, say screw the proliferate, and just play like what is it, like Elder Gargaroth kind of things, just big annoying things that are standing there. It's like, oh, you're attacking your opponent at multiple angles. But for now, we're just doing mono blue, make your opponent very depressed, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Oh, also, there's no Cavernous Souls this time, because this costs 1 mana. I don't think I like it when there's a lot of double blue in my deck, and Uro is double blue, double green, so I don't really like it. There's even triple blue here. I just don't think it's needed. But again, that's up to you. If you think it's free to just put in the wizard naming thing, then just send it. You're right, just send it. But we're not doing that. All right, let's roll. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's roll. Guess I have to say that in the beginning now. So says the algorithm. Is this plugged in? It is plugged in, alright. Now do our first opponent. Whoop-de-doo. So, Cavernous Souls, Delighted Halfling, kind of just lose. I don't know if there's any reason at all to play this on 1. There's not much reason not to, but might as well just keep it as a surprise. Alright, that is not Delighted Halfling, so we can play Magic. It's pretty cool. Wizard's Retort. This is a wizard. It's pretty cool. Well, they can't just go for it. That would be kind of funny. This is a blue-green deck. I can't envision a bunch of removal. Put on a counter. Just a random mana dork. That is totally fine, my friend. Let us do this. Both of these are totally fine. So, do I play this as a tap land? I don't think I have to. So hopefully we get to cracking these clues. I can double crack right now, but then... Nah, I'm just not going to. I think this is just excellent where I am right now. I don't have to ruin this. I can crack a single clue. I remember, I don't necessarily have to flip my commander. Fight rigging. They're putting that on here. And this doubles counters? It does. Alright, I think we'll make a move here. That doesn't seem like something I want to just tick away on a creature that's moderately annoying. Hexproof triggered. Oh, okay, so I guess I just lose if that resolved. Let's not let that resolve then. Wash Away was probably a good card. Yep, we're just gonna bully certain decks. I surprisingly enough probably should have said this in the intro. I mean, this is the first game, but I don't think Nadu is a big deal. And maybe if Nadu was everywhere, Tamiyo is just going to cyberbully the crap out of this. Ratabrick. Wow, I haven't seen this in a while, actually. Used to be one of the worst commanders I played against. It was always a nightmare. So we want to dodge all the black removal. There's actually white removal too, that's a problem. Do we play our commander on 1, or can we wait till turn 3? I don't really know. I mean, I don't really care. I just don't care. I'm casting my commander. You cannot stop me. Oh, look at that. Paid off. And swings. And land. And pass. Stern Scolding. Haha. We got a Nazgul with their Scolding. Look at that. That's funny. Let's get a Hedge Maze. Don't think I want that. Alright, this is getting progressively more tedious for our opponent to do stuff. They name Wizard, so my opponent has the penultimate card. Return target spell or permanent. So I guess I just return their commander to their hand? Yet again, someone with the penultimate perfect card against us in Cavernous Souls. Let's probably just play the other Tamiyo here. Probably. I don't really know what I'm plussing into, but I'm also not doing anything else anyways, except flipping this. Maybe flipping it is fine. My opponent has to commit an entire turn to their commander again, and we get to draw some cards, which could actually get me where I want to be, and it kind of did, actually. It does have Ward 2, that's kind of annoying, but I can make it lose all its abilities for 4 mana, which is a little steep. We're not going for Ratabrick. I think this is a good sign. That's weird. So I can pick... No, let's just plus again. I feel like the looming threat of this ultimate is just kind of funny. Let's play Growth Spiral to get that other land in play. They can sacrifice the AO after I target it. I don't really know if they care to do that. Does it matter? I don't know. I'm doing it. Like, this is fine. They targeted me with it? Okay. Okay, Esper Sentinel would be annoying, but fortunately it isn't. And we just pass, yeah, because they can't swing with Esper Sentinel. If they actually swing, I think my mana requirement of paying for it goes to 0. So if they're going to cast something, they want to do it before they swing. Or just, you know, don't swing at me. This blows up a clue token. Do I want to counter this? No, not particularly. Okay. Hopefully they just send out Ratabrick now. And it isn't like a lined up removal spell. Okay, that's somewhat similar. So I get to plus again, and then River's Rebuke. We know of no current removal spell. I feel like that's fine. And then we threaten the ultimate, and the only way to stop it is with a removal spell. No cards in hand do anything. They search their library for a card. I really don't know what's worth getting right now, but let's do this. Oh man, this is awesome. Alright, so Mox. Oh yes. Yeah. Don't think the land matters, so let's play you. Do I have one of my extra turns? Yes. Alright, cool. I have 3 mana left over. I can proliferate. I can just play Jace. That's adorable. Let's do that. And plus, we can plot a counterspell. Yeah, let's just plot Mana Drain. That seems hilarious. And that is all she wrote. We can cycle Censor. Okay. Next turn, plus here. Can plot another card, too. That's fine. I guess another counterspell? Why not? Making counterspells free is funny. Oh, I could have done Archmage's Charm. Whoops. Karn's Bastion. Tamiyo. Tamiyo does have enough. I can pick up my extra turns, so I think our opponent's going to get Schmieded here. I think this game is over. Well, it's close to being over. It's close to being over. It's not completely over. Where are you? There you are. Karn's Temporal Sundering. Dang. Sag. Let's get land in play. And I don't really know what my opponent could possibly do. Balagate Recovery. Oh, I have Balagate Recovery. Okay, so that's another Time Warp. Assuming I don't crack a... I'm going to get my opponent to concede one way or another. Whirlwind Denial is interesting with Cruelty. I can stifle the ability. I can pick up Balagate Recovery. Oh, it's just any instant sorcery. Excuse me, I'm dumb. Alright, so now we just have to find our beater to win the game at this point. Let's play tap land. Brainstorm, I guess. Witness Protection's not really doing anything. Let's pick up the Time Warp. And Radical Idea. Guess I can Radical Idea again. Okay. I do need a way to win the game if my opponent's not going to concede. So... All right, they conceded. They conceded. They conceded. I didn't actually have to show them a win condition. That's funny. So yeah, like look at that. My opponent was willing to sit through it for a while, but as you can see, it's pretty easy to just win without proliferating your commander once you get to that point. Obviously, I needed to tick it up a few times, but Kethis, no graveyard hate. No graveyard hate. And it's green again, and they're on the play again. Alright. I guess Spell Pierce has to be really good. Sort of. Don't really care about Esper Sentinel. That is not Esper Sentinel. There's no universe in which I don't simply cast this. Do we have swords? We do not. Do we have 2-mana removal spell? We do not. Okay. Ideal scenario. Again, kind of land light, but that's not the end of the world as long as things go in my favor. Okay. Kethis with 1 floating. Okay. They put it back to the command zone. Love to see that. They can cast it again right now. Grizzly Salvage, no way on earth I counter that. It's fun if you're fast at clicking when you see what's on the stack, your opponent might not think you have a counterspell. But, I mean, it'll hold priority for a clue crack in response anyway, so my opponent won't learn anything from that. Guess it's better to Growth Spiral instead of these. And it was, actually, categorically better. It was way better to do it. Wow, look at that. Alright. We are living the dream. This deck is awesome. I'm having a great time right now. I can cast Time Warp. Should I cast Time Warp? I mean, what world do I not cast Time Warp? I feel like I don't have to cast Time Warp, actually. Gonna be honest with you. I probably don't have to cast it. Stasis Field is actually on point. Let's keep that. Yeah, we don't have to Time Warp. I kind of want to wait till this flips to Time Warp. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Scry on top. Spicy. What do we keep here? I don't know. I'll get rid of that. I didn't draw a land this time, so maybe I do take an extra turn. I would like to, you know, hit my land drops. Okay. I can flip Tamiyo right now. However, I think it's better to play Midnight Clock and let that maybe flip it for it. We can just sit behind Midnight Clock. I mean, it's also a mana rock, so... Spell Pierce is never really irrelevant against a deck like this. I commend my opponent for continuing this game. I commend them. I can respect that. But boy, is it an uphill battle. Boy, is it an uphill battle. Alright, let's see if we draw land. I did, so I'll stop there. They're sending it. Opponent is sending it. Eventually I'll run out of gas, surely. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. It is possible. It's just probably not going to happen. Okay, I'll mana drain, and that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about committing a bunch of mana to Tamiyo. Flipping with these clue tokens. But I really could have just straight done it right there. That is totally fine. That is totally fine. That is not fine. Oh man, countering Edgar. I'm so sorry. Oh, I feel tragic about that, dude. I really do. I really do. It's my favorite card ever, dude. Oh well. Sometimes you just don't get what you want. Okay, so now we'll probably flip Tammy. Alright, gotta make sure I spend this mana now. Let's do it here. Oh, I guess I cannot currently flip Tamiyo. I cracked all my clues. I got ahead of myself. Let's bounce this. Alright, never mind. Back to this. It's not like this is a bad thing to be doing. Maybe subconsciously I just wanted it to do this. That's why I didn't, do what I did. But it looks like the Midnight Clock will be the reason why this flips. Okay. We'll just do it now. We'll just do it now. I got my 2 clue tokens. That's fine. This is just a... I mean, however you look at it, this is an absolute nightmare for my opponent. Let's plot away you. Any counterspell is fine. Opponent can know about it all they want. Whatever I plot doesn't get shuffled away with Midnight Clock. And I don't care about their Frodo still. They've tempted twice, sure. Great Henge is a problem. Oh, I told you. I told you Spell Pierce would be relevant. I told you. No matter how far this game goes. I told you it was going to do something. Kethis can do random stuff like that sometimes, so. I can put a thing here? Sure. Paid a lot of life on my own cards. Alright, let's plot away another card so we don't lose it forever. I guess you could be useful later. And plus this, so this can't hit me. Cycle this now. We can even proliferate on the Midnight Clock, actually. No, it's going to flip on my opponent's turn anyways. Let's just not proliferate. I don't lose the card, I just immediately draw here. I'm going to lose all of these, so I might as well just send it here. Just make it lose all abilities. If that mattered, I don't think it did. There's our extra turn. I have one floating, so I might as well send it now here. Seems fine. I did draw a basic, look at that. Alright. Opponent's going to go to combat. Oh, but it swings for 0, so this doesn't work. Oh, no, never mind, never mind. It does something. It does something. It's still their ring target. Yeah, okay. This just doesn't matter. If you can hear my air conditioner, that's a rip. It is way too hot. No counter magic. It's a mono red deck. It comes in pretty quickly. I do like these two. This is kind of meh. No. Scolding is huge. These two are not very huge. Oh, jeez. Alright. No lightning bolt, please. Or the galvanic whatchamacallit. Good. Alright. So now we're just banking on drawing some counter spells real quick. This is uncounterable? No, that's the other one. This is counterable. Is this just like big red? Oh, I love to see that. That's pretty cool. I feel like it's better to crack the clue than to hold on to it just for my flip in the future. I'm not even sure how relevant that is. And I want to just make sure I always hit what I need. Maybe it's fine to take a turn off to flip this. Let's see, do I have an answer to a resolved threat? No, I do not. Alright, I don't have an answer to a resolved threat. I can also do this on my opponent's turn. Anger of the Gods is 3 damage. So, does this flip when I cast this, right? Yeah, so I kind of schmeat my opponent's card here by simply drawing cards. Let's get rid of you and you, because you're 10 years out from being cast. I guess I'll keep the Sundering if I had to choose one. This gets around the Anger of the Gods in a reasonable way. I can fetch land away the River's Rebuke. It doesn't seem too ideal to have it right now. I notably do not have a counterspell for their commander, which is a little problematic. 2 targets can take a bunch of damage. Let's get a... I don't think I need another green, so I'm just going to save myself life. And I think I plot... I'm going to hide the contentious plan. I know it makes sense to plot that, but if they do a minus in a certain way where this saves my stuff, that can be useful. I have no idea if they would even go for the Chandra. I feel like it's insane to commit to it, but, I mean, if that's all they can do, you might as well try it. Might as well send it. Okay, Seize the Spoils is in fact not it. Alright, 4 damage. Come on. Show me a 4 damage spell real quick. I'd love to see that. Is there any merit in bouncing one of these mana rocks? I feel like there is, actually. 4? Maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. Okay, we're mousing over it again. This is 5 damage. This is 5 damage. I cannot in any way save this, so we will simply crack this and just accept it. Who knows? Maybe Jace is just better in this spot anyways. We can just loot away one of these. I don't even know if my opponent has anything I care about in that regard. If I play this, it's just kind of sitting there looking ugly. Maybe I just don't do that. 4. This is tough. This is very tough. Okay, I guess I do nothing. I guess I do nothing. So be it. Hopefully they just -5 and Jace lives when they go to, you know, send that. Wow, they commit it to this with more untapped for me than last turn. That's crazy. Do you kill Jace? We don't even think to kill Jace. Okay, interesting. We don't even think to kill Jace. Whenever you cast a spell, choose 2 new targets. Okay. I guess this does do it. That's kind of disgusting. Can I maybe remedy this by bouncing this? Does this work? Do these go down to 3? That wouldn't save it anyways. Yeah, that wouldn't save it anyways. Doesn't matter. Alright. Where are my counterspells? There are no counterspells in my hand. This is kind of insane. Kinda need to draw counterspells, please. There's one. I guess I am leaving up counterspell, because I got really nothing else to do, and I'll lose to Chandra. My opponent I showed them no counterspell last turn, so I don't know why they don't cast Chandra immediately. Yep, I would. Might not have a bunch of stuff in hand to go with Chandra anyways. Appears to be the case. Whirlwind Denial is another counterspell. I think it actually succeeds as well. Can I play this on top of it? I can. I think they have another burn spell, but I really don't know if plussing is better. I think I'm going to just take the counterspell, because until my opponent does something about it, it will exist. But I'll lose my Tamiyo. I think that is totally fine. Oh, maybe not. What is this? Oh, nope. Alright. Yep, they did have an answer to it. But this draw go against a mono red deck that doesn't have anything is very good for us. Very few things make me have to think here. That is one of them. 5, 6, 7. Oh, they dashed it. Never mind, they dashed it. It just goes back to hand at the end of the turn. They just dashed it, so I can just let it resolve and be like, okay. They dashed it. I could have Stern Scalding it, though. Could have done that. Oh, they can return something to hand, but doesn't really do anything except give them 1 energy. It's kind of funny. Okay. Interesting. They did know about the counterspell, so this gets taxed even further now. Instead of finding an avenue to let it resolve. That's strange. Like, they just spent the whatever on it. That's very interesting. Alright. So we'll Stern Scolding this time. Did not expect them to do that. I don't even care if this dies again, to be honest. I don't even care. Yeah, I'm not fighting over that. Yeah, knock yourself out. Just cast it again. It's totally fine with me. Why am I not able to... Why am I not able to Stern Scolding this? Toughness 2 or less. Oh, you can't sorcery plot... You can't sorcery plot counterspells, so I jacked it up. Oh, well, it's a good thing I discovered that. That means plotting all those counterspells last game wouldn't do anything. That is my bad. Alright, so I whiffed my answer to Ragavan. Because of course I did. And my opponent steals a relevant card. What a surprise. They did not cast it. Kind of unbelievable, actually. Kind of unbelievable. Let's recast this again. That's fine. My opponent is eventually going to run out of ways to, like, perfectly lightning bolt it. In fact, they already did. They can just hardcast Ragavan, and now if I ever swing, they get the trigger on the back foot. Okay, never mind. They no longer get that. I'll just do it now. So I can flip this immediately, and I guess I will. I guess it makes sense too. It's pretty good to just get it going here. What's thin of a land? Alright, yep. Opponent sees it. This game is just over. So plot only as a sorcery. Plot only as a sorcery. Okay, good to know. This hand has Uro and nothing else, but we are against some weird looking stuff here, but I feel like that's not a good idea, so... Alright, negate. Negate makes me feel better about my life choices. Rana. I've not seen this commander yet. Okay. Oh, that was pretty good. Do I leave up? Let's see, what do I do here? Just, yeah, no, I just pass. Just pass. There's nothing to think about. Okay, well, I don't want to lose to that. That would be something that could make me lose. Let's go ahead and not lose to it. Don't think I need another multicolored land here. I really don't have much green in my deck. I can whirlwind this land. Really don't want to do that, though. We could try running Stifles. We could. Let's actually Stern Scolding that. Sure. Think I crack a clue instead of radical IDing? Radical idea? It's kind of the same thing. Want another blue here, and I guess I pass, so I can... we'll see. I don't imagine they're going to cast their commander, so... Wow, they just did. Enters the battlefield, create 2 blah blah blahs. No, let's not let that be a card. Cyclonic Rift. Okay. Brainstorm, also pretty good. So we can use Brainstorm to flip this, and all of my opponent's pressure becomes 0. I don't see it in what universe I do not do that. This has value. Spell Pierce still kind of does, but might be the weaker card. Let's get rid of these 2, I think. That's fine. Shuffle those 2 away. Might run Stifles. There are a lot of fetch lands. There are definitely a lot of fetch lands. Nothing I can do about that. Let's get rid of Spell Pierce. Nothing I'm willing to do about that. That is fine. Okay, they're cracking this to put a counter on the Gear Drake. Which I guess does make sense. I would do the same. Oh, never mind. Never mind. What does this adapt to? A 5/5. Alright. So I'm going to want to not let that be a card that does things. Let's get kind of any land. I guess it can just be an untapped green. And do this. Take an extra turn. Let's bounce the clue token, because I can't use it. Witness protection does not change anything, so I can just pass. Cast your commander. Oh, cast your commander, please. Oh, please, cast your commander, dude. Oh, please. Let me censor that 6-drop. Oh, tragic. This does not get haste, though. Nope. Alright, so we get the ultimate. And then we probably win. We lose Tamiyo, who cares? We're drawing 68 cards, or something of the sort. Could have cycled this, actually. Alright, this is profoundly difficult to come out of, and my opponent agrees. Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. Most people are probably going to scoop when you do this, because what are you going to do? Like, you're never going to resolve another card, literally ever. And I probably have the board locked up. Let's see. I witness protection this, so it... Oh, excuse me, this, so it isn't a 5/5. So we'd be taking 4 a turn until I could also frogify this to make it 3 a turn. That's totally reasonable. I could simply recast this as a 0/3 blocker, and my opponent can't really do anything at all. Okay, I took out this... no, I didn't take out miscast. What did I take out? Who cares? I don't remember. Oh no, I took out Tezzeret's Gambit. 3-mana sorcery, probably one of the worst cards, just because of like the casting speed. For Disallow, it's another Stifle. There's a lot of fetch lands. You could literally run Stifle. I think it's totally reasonable. I'd probably drop Miscast. This is the next card probably to go, but I've never played with Disallow, surprisingly. This would be the first time I played with it, but I've seen it plenty. It counters like Planeswalker Ultimates, which don't matter too much. It is basically just a cancel for the most part, but it is also sort of a Stifle, and with the amount of fetch lands right now being like all of them, Stifle is probably on the menu now. But we're gonna try Disallow. I don't see... You can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with it. Miscast does not seem too good, so... Well, I'm on the draw, so we need to dodge a Mana Dork. Or almost just immediately lose, actually. So we can get Hedge Maze, or we can play our commander. I guess I'll play my commander. I don't know what world I simply don't do that. Okay, my opponent doesn't have anything. That's kind of crazy. No 1s or 2s. Wild. Look at that. So, if ever we had a chance to win, this is what it looks like. Opponent didn't even cast anything. Interesting. Nope, can't cast an Ado now, so what do? Nothing? Crazy. Well, I'll do nothing too. And swing. I couldn't even really use the extra card. I'd probably go to discard, so I don't like cracking the clue for no reason. They could have some wild stuff on my end step there. Which would not be ideal. I would like 2 counter spells, but... Alright, no way on earth I would ever counter that. Opponent probably should be aware of that. They're not. Wow. Alright. Not many disdainful stroke targets in Nadu, so... Don't like flipping it for no reason. Can just hang out. Now we can hang out a lot easier. I don't know what happens if I fetch on my end step. So I just won't. Fine draw. So, back to 2 counter spells. I mean, I didn't draw a land, but I sort of basically did draw a land. I'm liking this committing Nadu over and over. I will crack a clue now, so we can probably scry first, or surveil. A land is fine, certain counters are fine. A lot of cards that like hold priority here are like combat tricks, that's why like they might not be dealing with Tamiyo. Narset's reversal is actually not really that good here. Stasis Field. I would have preferred a land, not gonna lie. I'm still at a major advantage, I think, as this game pans out. Don't necessarily need more lands if everything's on 2. They could run out Nadu again. Kalani Garden. Alright, so they have a something to equip and spam and stuff. Nope. Could have probably used a more efficient counterspell like this one instead, actually. Oh, wait, no, it wouldn't have worked. Never mind. Literally would not have worked. Alright, so Giant Growth fight. Do that. 1 minute Giant Growth and then to a fight. No, they didn't do it. Again with the no lands. Jeez, what is going on? I'm drawing like 2.5 cards a turn here. Again, not really a big deal, though. Not really a big deal. Not yet. 4, 5, 6. What does this do? This does something I'd rather it not do. So I guess I'm countering it. I almost want to cycle Sensor instead of anything else, actually. But, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Opponent's almost, like, out of things even if Nadu resolves. Those have, like, no cards in hand. Okay, those are lands. Feeling a little bit better at the Tamiyo flip game, but again, not really interested in making a move so long as I have certain things totally covered. Which I do not have a resolve to Nadu covered, so. Really nothing? Wow, they're not even going to try? Crazy. I feel like you probably need to try. At least try to get it in play. Because if, yeah, this, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Alright. Do I just cast this? Nah. Nah. Not interested. Hullbreaker Horror would have just shown up immediately, and it has not, so. I'm going to keep drawing because I have cards that I don't really like in hand, and that probably makes sense, so. Oh, okay. I was not interested in making it a Planeswalker, to be honest, so this is probably completely fine. Unless it isn't. Recast it, play you, and discard some of this poop. This poop being Radical Idea can go. So you can go, Censor can go, and Contentious Plan can go. Dispel is another card that doesn't really do anything, unfortunately. Okay. I wonder why they're going for it now and not, like, earlier. I feel like they probably wanted to do this earlier. That's interesting. I can Brain Surge whenever I want. Yeah, I don't have to do it now. I might do it on my opponent's end step this turn. Drawing off the clue tokens is slightly better than just plussing this a few times, because I want... a constant supply of counter spells, and I think I just win the game if that's the case. So, okay, see what happens. Is Dispel going to get value? Dispel value? Sure. That is totally fine. Decisive denial? What? Let's get rid of some lands. So this game, my opponent apparently has only had like one targeted spell combat trick. It's patently obvious that's what's going on here. Just a combat. I don't know what else it could be. So that's kind of weird. This is my opponent's hand. None of this really had anything to do with Nadu resolving. Really funny. So this would get countered if I target this. So I guess I will not target it. There's things to put on top that I don't feel at all bad about doing. Let's put, alright. Alright. That's just so rough. I mean, do I even whatever. Surely it's a mana rock, right? All the red-white players love their 2 rocks. Nope, nope. Okay, well, we got past the nightmare. I guess we can keep playing. Let's play you and pass. I have to counter Flage, which is really bad, but whatever. Just like that's the nature of it. So shall it be. Pretty ugly. Pretty ugly. But it is what it is. I don't have many... Yeah, well, alright. This is what I signed up for. Charter Course has been very not... Wait, what? Okay. Wow. No land and a random enchantment that doesn't have any text. That is like wild to me. But that's what my opponent did. I'm almost to the point where I feel comfortable to actually cast or flip this too. I do want a land. I just want to make sure I always hit my land drop. I know I have one in hand and there's an opt, but I've been getting a bit unlucky with lands, so I'm kind of stingy right now. Return target creature mana cost, blah 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 blah. Okay. Fine. I could literally bounce my Tamiyo. I could just simply bounce my Tamiyo. That is totally a thing I could do as well. Okay. I guess it would have worked out that I did that too, but really not that big of a deal. Flage is not in play. This is definitely just fine. This is just fine. They found their land. They found the land. What do we do with it? Big score. Oof. Oof. Oh, yes. 2 for 1. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Alright, so let's play you. I will chart now, because I swung. And flip this, because Flage is a thing, and I'd rather just get rid of a creature and play. Let's play this, and... yep. They might just concede when they go to cast Flage, and it doesn't work. I don't know in what universe you don't cast Flage. Yep, there you go. It'd be kind of crazy. Who knows? Maybe they have the Flage mindset. You have the true Flage mindset. Let's see. They do. I love it. I love it. Oh, this is free. You can just cast it. It's fine. Oh, okay. Cantrip into cantrip into cantrip. I think this is actually... Well, wait. Let's see what this draws before I figure out what to do with this Tamiyo. Can put away you and you. Drawing 2 lands, and it doesn't appear to have... I have no way of shuffling. So I think I will actually pick... No, you know what? I'm going to try to force my opponent to make a move. I don't feel convinced I have to pick up a spell. I'd rather race to the ultimate. Let's not deal with that. Alright, yeah, punish is done. Okay, so, like I said at the beginning, it was very likely I was going to wind up changing the stuff around, and, well, I ended up doing that. I added, like, Disallow. I even added Oracle of the Alpha. I have no respect for this card, but when you draw literally half of your deck, it is... Wait, I gotta turn my air conditioner off. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm just doing the outro. Might as well. I don't really like Oracle, but there seems to be... I don't know what it is. I know it's anecdotal. But... Like, every time I play against this card, they get the Time Walk. They don't necessarily get the Ancestral Recall, but every time I see this, it's like the Time Walk is... Like, however those 9 cards are shuffled in, it just feels like the Time Walk is the highest one on top. Every single time. Again, probably anecdotal. I know it's been quite a... I don't know. However long it's existed, it just feels like that's the case. It's really rough. But regardless, without me being salty about that just seeming to happen disproportionately to me, it is... if you like it, this is the only deck so far that I really actually like it and feel like it's justified. I like the card. I just don't think it's ever justifiable, but this is absolutely the justifiable list. It's just another extra turn to find when you get to the ultimate, but you usually just win anyways from the ultimate. I think I proved that. You don't need to proliferate spam to the ultimate. The only thing that would do is get to it slightly faster, but your deck in the intermediate is weaker because you have like random proliferate cards that don't do anything until you're at that point. So if your hand is like 3 proliferate or 2 proliferate cards that don't have any text on them, and you're doing the intro to the game, which is like draw, go, counterspell, you just have 2 totally dead cards in your hand. I really just didn't like that, so... And it didn't feel necessary. I didn't need a lot of win conditions to win the game. Don't play win more cards. Win more cards are an absolute trap. I thought about Hullbreaker Horror, Okama, and there was another one. Really just don't need them. You really don't. If you feel like you're getting to the ultimate and doing all your degenerate stuff, and your opponent isn't conceding, then fine, but really doesn't happen too much. I mean, at the very least, you got 2 birds here, right? You could just get some birds and kill them with the birds. It's kind of weird, but it's totally possible, right? People just kind of concede to extra turn spam anyways. It really doesn't matter. But at the very least, you can just run Uro. I would always run Uro anyways. In basically every blue-green deck. Excuse me, ever. And this is a blue-green deck. So, just run it. Oracle is definitely another win condition, though, because it is a 2-3. If you're making infinite turns after you've done the thing, then it's just a way to hit your opponent 12 times and win. Or 13 times. 13 times and win. But this being a 1-drop is so good that it is probably, if not completely, better than Brawl. It is probably better than every mono blue counterspell spam deck because you can splash green and you have some really good cards in green. I wasn't necessarily running all of those, but there's plenty of green options you can run. At no point did it feel reasonable nor good to ever really run 1-drops. I'd never wanted to play Llanowar Elves in a green deck. That's kind of crazy. It's actually insane that I didn't feel like I wanted to do that. Not even Delighted Halfling, right? This is always your turn 1 play. If you don't have an untapped blue source, you're probably going to mulligan. I don't imagine you ever draw go without a blue source. I mean, if you don't have a blue source, you can't play Magic anyways. So, to the point where maybe you just go down to 3 forests. You don't need that many green sources. I might have just had one too many. This is the only double green card. And then there's not many green cards as is, so maybe even 4 is just too many. Could even go lower, right? We have a bunch of fetch lands and stuff, and basically the first dual land unlocks all of my green spells, and I have a lot of ways of finding the first one, with the only caveat, the second green being on escape, which I never actually escaped Uro. In fact, I don't even think I ever actually cast Uro, which is crazy. Chart of course was awkward. It's excellent with my commander, right? It just gives you the option to flip whenever you want at sorcery, well, on your turn, not sorcery speed, but whenever you want on your turn at sorcery speed. You don't even have to swing with it if you can't, and then, just cast this and it would flip because you drew a card for the turn, and then there's 2 more here. But if I was ever doing a draw-go thing, it just didn't really... I couldn't cast it in the first couple turns, really, because I wanted mana left up for counterspells. Counterspells felt so important that I really wanted at least 1 or 2 in every single matchup, so I don't know exactly how many I'm running. I got 39 instants, so I don't know, maybe like 25, 26 or counterspells with maybe 20-ish pseudo hard counters that just, you can't stop, like Atali Scorn, or Urtai's Scorn. Atali Scorn, yeah. So, you could absolutely run more counterspells. If you run more counterspells, your deck does not get worse. I'm not going to say it gets any better, but it does not get worse. So if that's something you want to do, it's totally fine. Same with the 3-mana counterspells. You can run the 3-mana counterspells in this commander, which is huge. Usually it's like, man, I really need them to all be 2-mana counterspells. This deck can absolutely get away with all the 3-mana ones, which basically unlocks the however many you want to play. You can play all of them, including cancel, right? You can just send it, but you don't necessarily have to. You don't have to, but if you do, it is totally fine. I felt fine even in control matchups. I felt fine in aggro. I felt fine against mid-range, like Flage and stuff. I felt fine against Nadu. Nadu was clowned every time I played against it. It looked like they weren't even playing Magic unless they had a 1-drop. And they were on the play, because then I can't really do anything. But yeah, I recommend this commander. This is an excellent commander. It's better than Gretchen, and it's kind of fitting the Gretchen role, that blue-green, end step nonsense. Probably a bit faster than Gretchen, because that one costs 2 mana, and then it costs 4 mana to do your draw on your opponent's end step, whereas this only costs like 2 mana, so it's like half up front, and then half on the card draw. So this is just like way better. Way, way better. It does a pretty decent job at defending itself too, which is kind of insane. And it's a +2. So if it was a +1, it'd take forever to get here. Maybe the proliferate makes more sense, but this is a +2. You get to that -7 pretty quick. In fact, you get it so quick that I never felt like I really needed to proliferate anyways. It just didn't feel like that. You can even wait. You can just wait when you flip this and just not flip it, even if you have the option to, just so you can keep drawing cards off of the clue tokens. It just win that way. Like, you don't have to flip this. So that's pretty funny. It also defends itself if you do flip it in response to a removal spell, which is kind of weird. It means your card draw spells come with a pseudo counter, because then their targeted removal just fizzles. It's kind of crazy. The Humiliates are extremely powerful because most of them put the creature to 1 power, and then it can't swing into this as a 1-power creature, which makes that 1-power creature that could sometimes be annoying completely irrelevant. That's kind of crazy. So you just never really had to... I never had to worry about, like, that. Now, these didn't come up that often, so you could draw... I think I was running, like, 5 of them by the end of it, like Frog of... Yeah, I had a lot of these in here. You could probably drop 1 or 2 for hard counters, because hard counters are, sort of the same thing, usually a bit more than 2, though, because I'm kind of running all the 2-mana counter spells anyways. But, yeah, I just... There was no format or no style of anything that felt bad, as long as Tamiyo got to come into play. If you're on the play, this is kind of stupid to me. I don't like this. This is kind of the same logic with Ragavan. If you're on the play, your chances of winning are significantly higher, and I don't like that polarized feeling. I think that's a problem. I think it's problematic when being on when being on the play is way more significant than not. Not every commander is like that. I'd argue probably most really are not, but this one is an exception to that. Green decks in general kind of are the most disgusting with this play versus draw because of the 1 mana green ramp spells. Playing 2 lands on turn 1 is just it's like the Soul Ring of the format, right? It's 1-on-1. It's not 4v or free for all 4-player. Soul Ring is crazy on stuff, but you got 3 opponents to regulate it. When someone plays Llanowar Elves on the play and you don't have an answer to it, there's no 3 turns of people to regulate that in, smooth out anyone pulling too far ahead. The 1v1, that's not the case, so things feel a lot more polarized. And with that being said, green is disgusting on the play. Like, if I ever played against Nadu and they had a 1-drop on the play, and they get to play Nadu on turn 2, it means I'm not playing this. Right? In fact, I probably just lose. They go Forest, Llanowar Elves, I go Island this, and then I pass back, they go Island, Nadu, I lose. So, that's a problem. I really don't like that. It didn't happen at all this time. It just didn't come to fruition, but it could have. And if it ever did, we just lose, whereas otherwise we don't. And a game being decided by the first 3 turns is very stupid to me. This is not Legacy. I don't think this should be Legacy. But Legacy is longer than 3 turns, obviously. But it's just, you start to figure out where the game sort of lay out in the long term in the first few turns in certain formats. And this might be the most polarizing format of figuring out how the game's gonna go in the first 4 turns, right? It's just like, shoot, I'm not gonna win this, or I am really quickly. If I have Mox Amber and I can play this, still just really isn't good enough. Like, you need, I don't know, like if I had to lose, I don't know. That's just dumb. It's just dumb. I don't know, but not to go on a tangent about the Llanowar Elves and play versus draw, other than the specifically Nadu doing it because it's a 3-drop. So it's, if it was a 4-drop, what I just said does not matter, but it is a 3-drop, so they get to do that on the play. It's just the massive thing about it, right? It wouldn't even matter if it was Uro. It's literally just Nadu and things like Nadu. Green 3-drops sort of commanders, or just 2-drops. But yeah, everything was fine. I didn't hate anything at all. Tamiyo maybe could just be a different way of getting cards out of your graveyard instead of this, but I still think this is kind of fine. It sort of mills your graveyard if you find Uro or has a chance to correctly name. I kept naming the extra turn that I did not find already, so mostly Karn's Temporal Sundering. Not really a surprise there. Just having extra turn spam. I guess the last thing I'll say, just to stop rambling, is you cannot plot counter spells. I messed that up in 2 games. Yeah, it was 2 games before I realized you cannot name, or you can't exile and plot counter spells, because this is sorcery only. So you can't do that. I was accidentally doing it twice. Just keep that in mind. You just don't do that. Which means the plus is not that great. But the other plus is probably still fine. It's like the looter scooter, smuggler's copter. Always loot. Even if you like your entire hand, just loot. Just send it. Just send it. So, but yeah, this commander is phenomenal. Probably one of the better ones in the set, maybe even the best one, just because it was very good against kind of everything, all strategies, and it was very good against Nadu. So, okay, I jumbled around with the deck a little bit at the end there. I was talking to people in chat for like 15 minutes. I think maybe Snapcaster probably could have been in here to start. It is like sort of a win condition and kind of on theme, right? The bounce spell that proliferates felt a little bit worse than simply drawing cards. So let's play like Curate and what was it, Deduce. It just feels a little bit better than everything else. Like anything at sorcery speed that costs more than 2 feels really bad. There's a lot of times where you're just not going to cast Oracle Alpha on turn 3. Like, ever, actually. Like, literally ever. You're probably never doing that. Even if you don't have a counterspell, you might just crack the Clue token instead. It just doesn't feel like a good idea. Same with Uro and obviously this. So, that probably just better. And, yep, alright, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you thought about this Tamiyo list. I really liked it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.